You know, the differences of how I feel when I'm driving versus when I'm walking. I mean, it's a very different thing behind the wheel as a driver than when one is a pedestrian. Even the same person who may, want the drivers to behave a certain way when you're walking, when I get behind the wheel, some of my instincts drive me exactly to contradict the pedestrian me. I don't know if that makes sense. But the point is, I think there's something that it just happens to many humans, and we need to be aware of that. I hear no as yes to a different question. I don't hear no as no, if it's something I care about. So with Art Walk, I was like, can we do that? No. I was like, okay, wrong question. Can we do this that's almost just like that if we go the other way? Oh yeah, you can do that. And that half the time that's true. It's just a matter of people have their individual world structured a certain way, or their job structured a certain way, or corporations or government structured a certain way. And there's a way that things easily flow, and there's a way things that don't easily flow. And usually you can get to the same place either way. The idea is to find the flow. We wanted art on Art Walk to end up there through some sort of open process. And we don't even we leave open the definition of open process. We've really only manifested it a couple of ways to date, but we're open to everything because with every one way of doing or commissioning artwork, there are pros and cons that go with it. We have some great curated collections here. Moral Art Gallery is a wonderful curated collection. That's curated by a professional putting together a vision of fine objects in a particular way. There's not really room or even interest in having public input in that process because it's an expertise that is required there. Same at the George Eastman House. I mean, I'm not going to say they're not interested in the public process, but an International Museum of Photography is beholden to a very different mission than would be something that's in the community. I always looked at it as kind of like, when I go by the Metropolitan Museum in New York, I see this grand building that I want to walk in. And then I walked by, on University Avenue, and it's like, it's keeping me out.
Yes, well, visually that was exactly parallel to the conceptual belief.
Right, and the people the senior staff and Grant Holcomb running the place don't feel that way at all, but they were kind of inherited this infrastructure from a different age. And, the fence is 100 years old, so why was it there? Is it historic? Is it not historic? Do we like it? Do we not like it? And it's just one of those things it's a complicated thing enough to discuss it. It was very easy to put off. But I think what Art Walk has done now that we are expanding west to School of the Arts and Visual Studies Workshop is MAG has really stepped up to the plate to look at how they interface with the public realm. And they want to be inviting. They want people to come in. And now they're seriously looking at, well, what can we, even if we can't build it now, what is it we're looking for so that when Art Walk passes by, we can be ready to accept a new era. Public art over the years often really meant art seen in the public. But the public component was only that the public could see it. The Rockefellers gave the public art at Rockefeller Center. And it's great. But it's not public art because it originated from the public and got there, or because it even had anything to do with that site. It's because someone said, hey, I'm giving you art. Yeah, you're welcome. And just like a lot of the larger public art in the city of Rochester, like at the Bausch and Lomb building, there's the wonderful Paley piece there. Wonderful thing to have. But it ended up there because Bausch and Lomb put it there, not because the community put it there. It's a wonderful thing. I'm grateful for it. But it's a different kind of public art than something that originates and bubbles up rather than bubbles down. And that's kind of one of the guiding principles of Art Walk was, well, how can we bubble it up? Should we look for the best sculptor in the world to put something out here? Or are we a regional focus, and do we have enough talent here to pull it off anyway? I mean, why shouldn't we be promoting the people who were here already? We have a lot of world-class artists living and working in Rochester.